While persons on bail continue to be a challenge for law enforcement, as dozens of individuals on bail have either died this year or have allegedly committed serious crimes, including murder. It's an issue that the National Security Minister says they're working to address. Tyler Simonet joining me live in studio with more on this. Tyler?
Janea, there has been what some would call a crisis of individuals on bail committing offenses or becoming victims of crime themselves. Minister of National Security Wayne Munro says the substantive issue is dealing with this problem and they are turning to the courts for a solution.
That is a concern that we will be meeting with the Office of the DPP to determine how they're articulating our concern to the courts, because the courts act on the material you put before them. And so we're concerned that persons, I think a very high percentage of persons out on bail for murder are the subject of themselves being murdered. And the disturbing thing is the environs in which this happens and the potential for collateral damage, because we'd have a number of those. We need to satisfy ourselves that our concerns are being effectively communicated to the judiciary with the accompanying evidence that they can have to make reason-informed decisions.
The minister clarifies that a company called Metro Security is in charge of the electronic monitor system. However, he says the actual providers are generally American companies who have the GPS and satellite capabilities needed. In the case of those committing crimes while being monitored, Munro says the device cannot predict the actions of an individual.
Just monitors where you are. It doesn't monitor your mind. And so what the monitor does is tells us where you are. So if somebody is robbed and we find that there is somebody who was at the exact spot of the robbery, with a monitor at the time the robbery was taking place, that's a fairly good suspect for having committed the robbery. And so the monitors themselves only tell us where people are.
Now, earlier this month, a male admitted to the courts that he failed to charge the electronic monitoring device the Supreme Court ordered him to wear. When asked if this is an area of concern for the ministry, Munro says this.
Well, that's a violation, and every week I get a report of the number of people who are brought back to court because they didn't charge their monitor, they breached their bail, and a lot of them are being awarded the privilege of us knowing exactly where they are at the Bahamas Department of Corrections for stated period of times, because if you choose to not let us know where you are when you have the ability to be outside of BDOCS, well, we have some place where we can know where you are 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. It's up to them.
Janea, at one point, police officials revealed that more than half of the country's murder victims were being electronically monitored. And just last week, 6 males were arrested for breach of their bail orders. It's an issue that the Ministry of National Security continues to address. Reporting live in studio, I'm Tyler Simonet. Back to you at the desk, Janea.